There were three empires in history of India. The first one is Maurya Empire, second one is Gupta Empire, and third one is Mughal Empire. In this session, we studied about the Mughal Empire. The founder of the Mughal dynasty was Babur. Babur belonged to the Mongol race. The word Mughal comes from Mongol. The rose was introduced by Babur. He was ruling a small reign of the Afghanistan called Kabul, and he was awaiting an opportunity to attack India, which was rich and prosperous. Taking advantages of the growing weakness of Delhi sultans, Babur invaded the Delhi and ended their reign. But he could not stop the wars because Rajputs and Afghans resisted him strongly. The brave warrior, and he was a Babur, with his powerful weapons forced the opposing armies to retreat. In the First Panipat War 1526, soon Babur conquered the Delhi, Agra and surrounding the places and established his kingdom. But he died soon. His son Humayun ascended the throne. Humayun. Though the Humayun managed to overpower his enemies in the beginning, he had faced defeat at the hands of the Afghan chieftains. Sher Shah Suri, having lost his kingdom, he fled the Persia and stayed there for the 15 years. When the Afghan rule in India weakened, Humayun invaded India and conquered the Delhi. However, he died within a short period thereafter. Next one, Akbar. Akbar, son of Humayun, had always dreamed of build vast empire in India. With his intention, he tried to persuade the mighty Rajput kings to support him. Some among them joined hands with him, but Rana Pratap Simha of Mewar opposed to Akbar. He was a proud to brave warrior. Later, fierce battle between the Rana and Akbar took place at Haldigarh. This is a Haldigarh war. So, after the Haldigarh war, Rana Pratap Simha was defeated in the battle. He did not bow down to the Akbar. So, thereafter, Akbar engaged himself actively in military campaigns for many years. As a result, he conquered the Gujarat, Bengal, Kashmir, Kabul and others area and built a vast empire. Akbar's achievements. Administration. Akbar was an able administrator and a broad-minded ruler. He possessed many of the qualities needed for a great king. He was not a cruel ruler. He realized that in order to preserve his vast empire, it was necessary to win the trust of his Hindu subjects, who formed the majority. He appointed Hindus to high post in his court. He withdrew the personal tax called jizya and the Hindu pilgrimage centers. Akbar's land revenue policy was well received by the people. It was framed by his revenue minister Raja Todaramalla. Religious policy. Akbar was tolerant of other religions. He constructed a prayer hall called Ibadat Khan in his new capital Fatehpur Sikri. He invited Hindu, Jain, Buddhist, Parsi, Christian leaders to discuss their views in the religion's issue. As a result of such discussion, he involved a new sect called Deen-e-Ilahi. It incorporated some of the best principles of the different religions. However, it could attract thus only handful of followers. And next one, patronage to arts. Akbar patronaged the literature and art. Faizi, Abul Fazl and Birbal were the distinguished poets in his court, and the immortal singer Tansen adorned his court. Akbar's contribution to architecture and painting are also remarkable. After the son of Akbar, Jahangir ascended the throne, and after the son of Jahangir, Shah Jahan introduced the Akbar to the throne. They continued his policy to the great extent. Shah Jahan achieved the fame by getting the famous Taj Mahal built at Agra, the Mammat Red Fort at Delhi, and other stately palaces. Mayura Simhasana also belongs to Shah Jahan. Now, Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan's son. Aurangzeb is the last well known Mughal emperor. He ruled for a long period of 50 years. During this period, the empire expanded in all directions, but at the end it declined rapidly. Religious policy. Aurangzeb was an Orthodox Muslim. Orthodox Muslim means he believed only Islamic law. He stayed away from the drinking wine, gambling, entertainment, and music also. He lived a simple life. Aurangzeb gave up the liberal policy of Akbar. He restarted the jizya tax. This led to many political rebellions. The Sikhs and the Rajputs strongly opposed the Aurangzeb in North India. Shivaji rose in revolt in the Deccan. The revolts continued for a long time, and as a result, Aurangzeb lost enormous wealth, a large part of his army, and worst of all, his prestige. The many provinces of his empire became free. The Deccan War strapped the Aurangzeb's economic power as well as military strength. Being the executed, he died in the Deccan. With his death, the Mughal empire was greatly weakened. The Mughal administration. The emperor possessed all civil military powers. The judgment was final in all matters. The empire was divided into province, sabha, district, sarkar, and taluks, paraganas. The Kotwal looked after the law and order in the cities. Next, revenue system. Akbar's minister Raja Todaramalla framed the land revenue system. Under the system, the land revenue was fixed on the basis of the fertility of the soil. Next, literature. The Mughal patronaged the Persian literature in a special way. There were famous historians like Abul Fazl, Nizamuddin, and Badauni in Akbar's court. Akbarnama is an important literary work of Abul Fazl. Darashokas, the Mughal prince, was extraordinary scholar. He translated the Bhagavad Gita to Hindi. He flourished the account of the effort of the Bhakti saints. Ramacharita the well-known work of the Tulsidas, is also in this period. The architecture. Humayun's tomb in Delhi was constructed during the early period of Akbar reign. He built a new capital near Agra and named it Fatehpur Sikri. The magnificent palaces, mosques, pavilions of this place attract the tourists from all over the world. The entrance to the Jami Masjid, it means Buland Darwaza, here is the tallest in India. It is 40 meter tall. The Mughal architecture attained its glory during the reign of the Shah Jahan. Moti Mahal, the palace of the built in the Agra fort, is extremely beautiful. The Taj Mahal at Agra shows the Mughal architecture at this best way. This wonderful monument was built in the memory of his queen Mumtaz Mahal. There are the tombs of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz in this Muslim. It was Shah Jahan who got a famous red fort built in Delhi. Painting. A new school paintings emerged during the period in the Mughals. There were more than 100 artists in the Akbar's court. The art of the painting reached the peak under the patronage of the Jahangir, Aurangzeb, who was the orthodox in the outlook but did not encourage the painting. The music. Music received the special patronage during the Akbar's reign. The large number of the musicians in this court were divided into 7 groups. Each day particularly group gave the music recital. The Tansen was the most remarkable musicians of the Akbar court. Jahangir and Shah Jahan also extended the patronage to music, but the Aurangzeb banned the music. However, musical in the hearts of the people. So, decline of the Mughal Empire. The empire began to decline towards the end of the Aurangzeb's reign. The reason for the decline are the chieftains became corrupt. Intense the fighting took place among the claimants the throne. The provincial governors took advantages of the situation and declared the independence. Aurangzeb's desire to convert India into the Islamic state. The prolonged to the warfare with the Sikhs Rajputs and Marathas fully exerted the resource of the empire. In the meanwhile, Nadir Shah, a Persian invader, reigned Delhi. He looted the wealth amassed by the Mughals over the period of 2 centuries. He carried away from the world famous Kohinoor diamond and the peacock throne of Shah Jahan. The treasury of the Mughals became empty.